Hey everyone, welcome to our deep dive, where we explore how students can show what they know using digital tools.
Yeah, and express their learning in cool new ways.
It's about going beyond just pen and paper.
Exactly. Bringing in things like images and voice
Oh,
recording.
and even voice dictation
It's really like opening up this whole new world for them.
to express what they understand.
Right.
And for this deep dive, we're looking at these great articles.
From the Creative Educator website.
Yeah, they're packed with ideas about how to use technology to help students learn better.
Especially for English language learners.
Oh, that's something I'm really interested in.
Yeah, how can multimedia help these students?
So to start off, what is multimodal learning?
Well, Forbes magazine had this article that said communication is like the most important skill.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not just writing essays anymore.
No way.
It's about using visuals and audio along with text.
It's like adding spices to a dish.
Exactly. It makes it way more interesting and memorable.
So true.
And there's this quote by Ludwig Wittgenstein.
Oh, yeah. He said, we can't really know anything that we can't communicate.
Makes you think.
For sure. If a student can't show what they know, do they really get it?
So in this multimodal world, we have text, voice, and images.
Like building one.
So let's start with text.
Okay.
Like even a good summary or taking notes can be powerful.
Totally. They make students think harder about the information.
Like my son had to write one-sentence summaries about all these historical events for his Road to the Renaissance project.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah.
But it really makes them understand it better.
Okay, now what about voice?
Voice is so important because you can hear the tone and the emotion.
Oh yeah, my friend has a rule. If you send more than 4 texts, you gotta call.
Haha, smart friend.
Yeah.
Voice just adds so much that text can't do.
Like students could record themselves reading to track their fluency.
Exactly, or even explain how they solved a math problem.
Oh, that's interesting.
They could even do voice acting to show different characters.
Oh, wow. So many possibilities.
Right.
And then we have images. Our brains are incredible at processing images.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Did you know it only takes 13 milliseconds to process an image?
Wow.
And then those images are stored in our long-term memory.
So they really stick with us.
They're way more impactful than words alone.
Like a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Exactly.
But how do we bring all this together?
That's where digital tools come in.
They're the bridge to make multimodal learning happen.
And there are tons of great platforms out there.
Like Wixie that was mentioned in the article.
Students can use those tools to mix text, voice, and images.
That's so cool. They can draw, add stickers, and record themselves.
It's like having their own multimedia studio.
And the best part is those tools can be adapted for different learners.
Exactly. We can really meet them where they are.
Now, what about these nonverbal communication tools?
Oh, yeah. Those are things like visual organizers, manipulatives, even gestures.
Interesting.
They're helpful for students who learn best visually or struggle with writing. Like imagine teaching math with pictures and diagrams instead of just equations.
It would make it way more concrete.
Right.
So we're giving students a toolbox to show what they know.
Yeah, in ways that work best for them.
I love it. This is also fascinating.
It is.
I'm particularly curious about how these digital tools can help English language learners.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Let's dig into that next.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so let's dive into how digital tools can help English language learners.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's one thing to talk about it generally, but I want to see how it works in practice.
Right. Well, there are 5 stages of language acquisition,
Okay.
and we can use different tools for each stage.
Got it.
So starting with the silent receptive stage.
Where they're not speaking much yet.
Right, but they're still absorbing the language.
And so how do we engage them?
We can use things like click and drag activities,
Okay.
or simple labeling using pictures and words.
So they can show what they know even without speaking.
Exactly. It's important to make them feel included.
So true. What happens as they start using more language?
That's the early production stage.
Okay.
And we can introduce activities like close exercises.
Close exercises.
Yeah, where they fill in missing words in a text.
Oh, yeah.
But we can make it more engaging with visuals and recording.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Especially for visual learners.
Right. The article talked about using the book in the tall, tall grass.
Oh, yeah. I love that book.
You create a template where students add nouns and verbs illustrations, and then they can record themselves reading it.
That's awesome. It combines everything we've talked about.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about when they're ready to speak in full sentences?
That's the speech emergence stage.
Got it.
And here we want to give them some support.
Like scaffolding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Digital tools can provide sentence starters or graphic organizers.
So they have a structure to follow.
Right. And they can record themselves to practice and hear how they sound.
Like giving them training wheels.
Uh-huh, exactly.
Okay, so what changes when they get to the intermediate language stage?
Well, now they can communicate pretty well.
But they still need help with academic language.
Yeah, and more complex ideas.
So what do we do?
The article had this cool idea about making instructional videos.
Oh, wow.
Like, imagine students teaching a grammar rule.
That's brilliant. They have to explain it in their own words.
Right, and it helps them understand it even better.
Plus, they get to be the teacher.
Exactly. It's empowering.
Okay, now what about when they reach near native fluency?
That's the advanced language proficiency stage.
So do we still use digital tools then?
Oh, yeah, definitely. They can still help refine their skills.
Okay.
And we can challenge them with more difficult tasks.
Like what?
They could create public service announcements,
Oh, wow.
or detailed infographics,
Cool.
or even make their own comics.
It sounds like no matter what stage they're in, these tools can help.
Exactly. It's about supporting their growth.
One thing that keeps coming up in the articles is vocabulary.
Oh, yeah. That's crucial for English language learners.
How can digital tools help with that?
Well, students need to learn new words in context.
Not just memorize lists,
Right. Digital tools can make it more engaging.
like a supercharged flashcard.
Haha, sort of.
What would you recommend?
Well, Wixie has this cool word feature.
I've heard of that.
Students choose an image to represent a word, write the definition, and then record themselves explaining it.
That's amazing. It's so much more than just memorizing.
Right. It's interactive and creative.
I love it. So we talked about vocabulary. What else do the articles highlight?
Oh, they also talk about motivation and authentic language production.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
They say digital tools can really boost student engagement.
How so?
Well, instead of just worksheets, students can create things they can share.
Okay.
Like comic books or trading cards.
Oh, that's fun.
Or even podcasts and interactive stories.
Wow, those are real-world projects.
Exactly. Things they can be proud of.
It gives them a voice.
Right, and it encourages them to use their language skills.
So it's not just about doing assignment.
No, it's about creating something meaningful.
Now, what about collaboration?
Oh yeah, these tools can also help with that.
How so?
Well, English language learners can work with native speakers.
Oh, that's a great idea.
They can support each other and learn from each other.
It's like peer tutoring.
Exactly. Everyone benefits.
So it's all about making learning authentic and engaging.
Exactly. We want students to be creators, not just consumers.
I love that. Okay, but let's be real for a second.
Okay.
There are going to be challenges.
Of course. Every new approach has challenges.
Like what kind of things?
Well, access to technology is a big one.
Yeah, not all schools have the same resources.
Exactly.
So what can teachers do if they don't have a lot of technology?
They have to get creative.
Okay.
Even simple things like tablets or smartphones can be useful.
Right.
And there are tons of free online tools.
So you don't need fancy equipment.
Not necessarily.
What about time?
Oh yeah, time is always a challenge.
Teachers are so busy.
I know. It's hard to find time to learn new things.
So what's the solution?
Professional development is key.
Okay. Schools need to provide training and support for teachers.
So they feel comfortable using these tools.
Exactly.
And it's not just about the technology, it's
Right.
about changing mindsets.
Sometimes it's hard to let go of old ways.
But when you see those light bulb moments,
Oh, yeah.
when students are engaged and excited,
That's when you know it's worth it.
absolutely. It's about creating those magical learning experiences.
You got it.
And we can't forget about parents.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
How do we make sure they understand all of this?
Communication is key.
Okay.
We need to explain how technology is helping their kids.
Right.
We can invite them to see student projects,
Oh, that's a great idea.
or send home newsletters, or even host workshops.
So they feel involved.
Exactly.
This has been so inspiring.
I'm glad.
I'm really excited about the potential of these tools.
Me too.
So as we move to the last part of our deep dive,
Okay.
what's one key takeaway you want listeners to remember?
That's a good question. I would say embrace multimodal learning
It's not just a trend. It's a fundamental shift.
in how we think about education.
Exactly. We need to recognize that every student has a unique voice.
And these tools can help them share their stories.
Beautifully said.
All right, everyone, don't go anywhere
We'll be right back.
to explore some real-world examples of how this is working in classrooms.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Okay. We're back for the final part of our deep dive.
I'm excited for this.
Me too. We've talked about why multimodal learning matters and how to do it.
Yeah, now it's time for some real-world inspiration.
The Creative Educator articles had some great examples.
They did.
One that really stuck with me was the second grade teacher who used Wixie for grammar lessons.
Oh, yeah, Katie Hammock.
Her students made videos to teach grammar rules
That's so cool. They had to explain it in their own words.
and find examples.
Right. It really helped them understand the concepts.
And their classmates learned from it too.
Exactly. It's like peer teaching.
I love that they become the teachers.
It gives them ownership.
What other examples did the articles mention?
Well, one was about using digital storytelling with English language learners.
Oh, wow.
They could create animated stories with visuals, text, and narration.
That's amazing.
It lets them show their language skills and their culture.
And they get to be creative.
It's so much more engaging than just writing a paper.
Did they have any examples for specific learning stages?
Yeah, for beginners, they talked about labeling images and matching words to pictures.
Oh, yeah. That's great for building vocabulary.
As students get more advanced, they can create stories with visuals and audio,
Okay.
or even record themselves reading to practice pronunciation.
It's all about giving them opportunities to practice and grow.
Exactly.
What about collaboration?
Oh, yeah, those tools are great for that, too.
How so?
Students can work together on projects.
Okay.
They can combine their strengths and help each other with language.
I love that. It's like a team effort.
And they learn so much from each other.
It creates a real sense of community,
Exactly.
and then they can share their projects with a wider audience.
Oh, yeah, that's a big motivator.
It's not just for the teacher anymore.
Right. They can share it online and get feedback from people all over.
It opens up a whole new world.
It really does.
And it goes back to that idea of students being creators.
Not just consumers.
Exactly.
They have a voice, and they can share it with the world.
This has been such an amazing conversation.
I agree. It's so inspiring to see how technology can transform learning.
So as we wrap up our deep dive,
Okay.
what's one question you want our listeners to think about?
That's a good one. I would say, what's one small step you can take to use multimodal learning in your own work?
Whether you're a teacher or a student,
Exactly. It could be trying a new tool or designing a creative activity.
or just changing your mindset.
Every little bit helps.
That's a great challenge. I want to add one more thought.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to experiment and have fun.
Yes. Learning should be joyful.
So keep exploring, keep creating, and keep those minds open.
That's the key.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time.